Today's video is 10 tips for writing nonfiction. It's been highly requested and I'm finally doing it because I'm with my co-author, Mandi Lynn, and we have a surprise for you.
Should we tell them?
Do you want to tell them?
I feel like this is so cheesy.
I
know. The marketing series is back. Was I allowed to say it?
Yes, of course. The marketing series is back and we're so excited because we have new covers to share today.
New covers.
We're going to link the video below to Mandi's channel because she is doing the cover reveal.
And I'm showing the cover design process for the next 2 books in the series.
So exciting. And we should tell them what it's about.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Book 4 is about selling on social media. That's the one I'm doing. And book 5
is about book launches.
So excited. So these are 2 topics that people really wanted, and we're really excited to share some tips for actually writing the nonfiction. There's something I'm forgetting.
Pre-orders.
Pre-orders!
The important part.
Pre-order below. Like, this is actually live as of this video.
Yeah, we thought, let's just jump in. Not only are we announcing that the series is back, but the covers are here and the pre-order is here, so be sure to pre-order below.
Right.
And if you haven't read the first 3 books in the series, we have them right here. How Your Book Sells Itself, Grow Your Author Platform, and Book Sales That Multiply.
I was also going to say that you are seeing this video, obviously, as the pre-order comes out, but we're filming this months in advance.
Yeah.
So there has been a lot of preparation that's gone into it, and we've just been...
But so much so that we don't even know the titles of the books yet.
That's true.
We don't know the titles, we don't know what the covers look like, but as you watch it, we know that information.
Maybe I can even flash it on the screen for the titles.
Ta-ta.
And then again, you have to watch Mandi's video to find out what the covers look like.
Yes.
For those of you who are wondering why there was such a long break between the first 3 books and now these next 2, we had, well, first of all, 2020.
Yeah.
But going back.
But before 2020,
we said that we'd put fiction first.
Fiction always comes first.
And so The Stolen Kingdom came out in August, and I just went like down that rabbit trail. And then really 2020 derailed us completely.
Yeah, and then I wanted to finish stuff up for my own book, Meet Me at the Summit.
Which is coming out soon, or in August.
Or is it already going to be out by the time this video?
If this video comes out mid-August, your book's going to be just a couple weeks
away.
The
book comes out August 31st, and it's a young adult contemporary romance. So
check it out. I'll link it below as well. And then now we finally realized, you know what? If we don't set deadlines and just go for
it's not going to happen.
We're probably never going to do it.
So we need to finish this book series.
Yeah. So let us know if you're excited in the comments to finally find out. But now let's get into the 10 tips. And this is like unscripted, just a bunch of bullet point things that we would like to talk about that we've had questions on.
Yes.
So first one, I don't know if you want to take it away, is on outlining and writing and how that's different.
Oh yes. Outlining is important for any type of writing, but I feel like it's especially important for nonfiction because nonfiction, I feel like the most important thing is the way you organize the information. So you should know in a general sense what you're going to write about for nonfiction, but it really comes down to like, what do I talk about first? So I don't know how you work, but I feel like we work in a similar way where we outline it in a way where we're like, this chapter's going to be about this chapter will be about that, and so on and so forth. And the best part about nonfiction is that I feel more comfortable to jump around.
Me too.
Like there have been multiple times where I'm like, I don't feel like writing this chapter right now. I'm gonna skip to the next one.
Same.
And you can do that in fiction, but I enjoy writing.
It messes me up in fiction.
I like writing in order for fiction, but for nonfiction, I'm all over the place.
Same here. Like you need to get to know the storyline in order, but there is no storyline.
Yeah.
And there's no characters, usually. And there's no like plot hole issues. So there's so many details that you don't have that you have to struggle with in fiction.
Exactly. And then with nonfiction, you can play around with formatting. Like you can do bullet points and numbers and bold. Like if there's like one important line, this is something we like to do. We like to put that sentence in big, bold. You guys need to remember this.
Yeah. Almost like a quote.
Yes.
Like we give you little quotables if you want.
Yes. And we quote ourselves using those quotables.
We do? Quote ourselves?
We used to. Well,
we put it in quotation marks?
Well, no. I mean, like promoting on social media. Yeah.
Oh, it makes it super easy to promote. I understand now. It makes it super easy to find things to share that already pop because you picked them out in advance. I like that. That's a good point. What's the one thing, though, that is harder? Because I could swear there was something. I feel like
well, the hardest part is that you're writing, depending on what type of nonfiction you're writing, you're writing facts. That's true. So it's
you have to fact check.
You have to fact check. You have to do your research. We like to cite our sources.
Yep.
Because sometimes we're writing about something and we may not have like as much experience as someone else. So we're just like, this is what we know. But if you want to like learn more about the person who has done it, been there, can give you their own story. Our books, at the end of every single book, there's a resource section. And you can do further research if you would like.
Because you don't want to ever assume, like, we're not going to be like, we know everything.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to be like, there's a lot of really good people who are very focused on different things.
Right, and I think maybe the trickiest part is that things change.
Yeah.
So, like for the book sales that multiply, that's all about like doing paid ads and different things like that. So
and Amazon ads keeps changing.
Right, and it's constantly changing. I remember as we were writing the book, Amazon like had just updated something. I was like, are you kidding?
Didn't they change their name?
They changed, the entire like platform name. They changed.
That really messed things up.
Yeah,
it changed our subtitle even.
So sometimes you have to go back and like update stuff, and it's annoying. But that's the most annoying part of writing nonfiction.
Yeah, it's similar almost to a blog post. You know how those go out of date,
Yeah.
and you kind of just I think you see dates on blog posts.
Yeah,
and then if you want them to be updated, you have to like do a little "this is updated" thing on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so nonfiction can go out of date sometimes as well.
And we kind of touched on formatting a little bit, and we touched on the resource section. So let's do those two quick, since we already kind of did.
Yeah.
Formatting is just mainly the headers.
Yeah.
But also there's a table of contents.
Yes. Yeah, not all I don't really see fiction books with table of contents, at least not in print. Twilight does.
Twilight does?
Twilight has a table of contents. Do you want me to pull it out?
Yeah, I want to see.
Where is it?
Twilight. Tangent. While you're pulling it out, I was going to say ebooks do also.
Yes, ebooks always have a table of contents.
They have to, I think it's a requirement.
See, contents.
Wow, look at that. What does our table of contents look like? Now I need to know. It's pretty nice.
There, now you have my thumb.
Thank you. So that's what a table of contents looks like. But the questions that you guys asked are actually, is it necessary to have a table of contents?
The answer is yes. For nonfiction, at least, I would say.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say like 99.9% that I've
seen. And unless we're talking about, I don't know, like a memoir is still technically nonfiction, but you probably, that's still more, and so if it's storytelling, it doesn't need a table of contents in the print edition. But if it's anything with like facts, I would say table of contents is necessary.
Yeah, and I would say that applies to the next question, which was for the resource section, is that actually necessary?
Right.
I think it is too, because like you just said, it's fact.
Right. I think it's always nice, like if you are citing sources in your book, then those sources should also be like at the end of the book.
Yeah.
But obviously if you're not citing sources and it wasn't necessary,
then it's fine.
Then it's fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like in most cases, there's got to be at least a couple times where you are. And then we add in stuff that's more just like further learning.
Yeah.
And there's also instances where it would be easier to see it than to read it. So I know there's been multiple times where we're like, we have a YouTube video on this, so you probably would want to watch the YouTube video tutorial rather than read it.
I like that. Yeah, I forgot we did that actually, because it's been a year and a half.
Yeah.
But I would say like we went above and beyond with resources, because we didn't do just citing things.
It wasn't just citing sources. It was like,
if you want to know more, like we don't want to bog you down with a billion details, because the book would be this thick.
Yeah.
And it's not all our information too.
Right. So we want to give credit where credit's due.
Exactly. But it's like, let's help you learn more. That was really fun. I forgot we did that. The next question is the page count / word count / chapters, basically the length and like how long should it be, and we were like, should we even include this? We don't think it matters, but we were like, this is a question that's asked a lot, so we want to talk about do what it needs.
And I mean, obviously if we grab our books, we've got the first 3 books here because we don't know what the next 2 books look like.
But they're pretty much the same,
but you can see like the first book is like, what is it? It's probably
I don't remember the word count anymore.
It's like 175 pages, and then the second book is shorter, and it's like 140. And then the third book, because it's ads are like more complex, and it's 224.
Yeah, this one's the biggest.
Yeah, and
so it doesn't have to be the same.
Right, exactly. So I guess the only time where length truly matters is sometimes if a book is so short, there's no point in doing it in a print edition.
Yeah, good point.
In that case, you just do it as ebooks. And how many times have you seen a free ebook download that's nonfiction?
Yeah.
People do that as newsletter sign-up incentives all the time.
Absolutely. Or you could go on the flip side, if it's like too long, like if you get to the point where this book is going to be so expensive that it might deter people from buying it or make it really difficult for you to print, you can split it up depending on how easily that's done.
Right, if you can make clear sections, which you should be able to if you organize the book correctly.
Exactly. All right, so those are the first 5 tips for the writing side, but we also wanted to bring you 5 tips for the publishing side. So let's start with the question for series, which we kind of just touched on actually.
Yes.
Is when do you do series and why?
So for us, we talked about, you would want to do a series if the content is just so long that it wouldn't make sense for it to be in one book. For us, we did a series not because we enjoy writing like short little books.
But they're different topics.
Right, they're very clear, very different topics. But we didn't write it as like one gigantic book because at the time it wasn't possible for like authors to co-author as easily.
Yeah, it was just completely impossible.
Yeah.
Like tax-wise, finance-wise, we were like, I don't even know.
Yeah,
where
so
to
like
start.
I remember when we first like had this idea, we sat down and we were like, we'd have to do a separate account where it's us comboed.
Which, by the way, you're not allowed to do. I just found that out.
Really?
I just found out that KDP will penalize you if you have more than one account. How crazy is that?
No, I don't have more than one account.
Okay, I was like, oh.
No, but so we had this like conversation figuring out like we would have to do this and we would have to like quite literally go into business together as if we were starting a business, and we'd have to
a headache.
Yeah, and we'd have to sit down every month and like split the royalties.
Yeah.
And
do
like
taxes together probably in 2 different states. Like,
we
let's
just not talk about
shut that down.
Yeah, so that idea was very quickly shut down because we were like, that's way too hands-on.
Yeah.
So instead we were like, we're gonna divvy up the topics, and we figured out who wanted which topic, and each topic
went really well.
Yeah, we each agreed very easily who would write what, in what order the books would be in, and when, like, we just worked together very well.
Yeah, we tend to be on the same page.
Yeah, so the way it works, in case you're curious, is that whoever is the main author of the book is the person whose name is bigger on the cover and the person's whose name comes first. So they're the person who wrote the book, and then the co-author is the name that says with blah blah blah.
Yeah, who also chimed in.
Yes.
In a lot of chapters.
Yes, so the way it works is the co-author like writes a page or 2 at the end of every chapter. That way you have both of our perspectives.
Yeah.
But it's fair in the sense that the person who did the bulk of the work gets paid for that book. So like she was the author of book 1, How Your Book Sells Itself. I was the author of book 2, Grow Your Author Platform. And then also book 3, Book Sales That Multiply. But Bethany will be the author of book 4.
Selling on social media.
Yeah.
And you'll be the author of book 5, which is about book releases / book launches.
So that's why we chose it. But I do know now, I think it's drafted digital.
They do?
Yeah, they let you do like some co-author thing where it splits the royalties automatically.
Oh man.
I think I saw something about that somewhere, but that's a strictly drafted digital thing.
Not KDP.
Right.
Okay. Well, then they're behind. But also we do all the other co-author stuff as well, because we read for each other, we edit, give notes, then we proofread for each other. We
help each other outline as well and make sure that all the topics are covered for each thing.
Yes, we actually brainstorm the whole thing to make sure we don't miss things.
Yeah.
And Mandi does the covers, which again, link below. And then I do the formatting, so we try to really cover all our bases and make it fair.
Yes.
And it's really fun.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that, but there you go. The next question, so that was series. Then I have a question for subtitles, and how are they different from a subtitle you might put on fiction, which we can answer this.
Yes, so subtitles are really fun for nonfiction.
Yeah, they are.
Because as we talk about in book 1, the keywords are super, super important. So basically, when you have a subtitle, you can take all of your keywords about your topic and just shove them in there.
Yeah. In a natural way.
Unshamelessly just getting all the important words in there. Like if you look at...
I feel like book sales that multiply is the best example because you really...
Yeah, so the title of the book is How Your Book Sells Itself.
Right.
And then the subtitle is 10 Ways Your Book is Your Ultimate Marketing Tool. You guys can look through at all the subtitles in the series and be like, oh, I see how they put those keywords in there.
Which one has the best? Oh, actually no, book 2.
Book 2.
Give them that as an example because this has legitimately
all the keywords. So the title is Grow Your Author Platform, but the subtitle to, get those keywords in there is Generating Book Sales with Your Website, Email Marketing, Blogging, YouTube, and Pinterest using Content Marketing.
So many keywords
right
there.
Because I wanted to make sure everything we were talking about in this book was mentioned in the subtitle. It's actually much easier to do subtitles with nonfiction because with fiction you want to do a subtitle as well to get keywords in. But KDP requires the subtitle to be on the cover.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and that's been an issue that we've come in as authors of fiction where like a subtitle for your fiction book may be...
They tried to reject one of them.
Yeah. Because yours is like an Aladdin retelling, which is a great subtitle, but it's not on the cover.
Right.
So it gets rejected.
It was actually randomly book 3. They were fine with books 1 and 2, and I think 4 was fine. Book 3, they're like, no, you can't have it say it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Yeah. Versus this, it's expected, it's normal.
Yeah, so like we said, sometimes policies change. So what worked once upon a time is putting the subtitle of a fiction book on digitally, like
adding it without it being on the cover.
That used to work and now no longer works.
Yeah. But also I will say the other difference is that, in fiction you want to keep it short versus in nonfiction you're using your space. Like don't go crazy, don't add nonsense, but I would say you definitely see longer subtitles.
Nonfiction you can play around with search engine optimization much more.
Yes, so take advantage of that. The next question is on pricing, and everyone just wants to know, like, how do you figure out pricing? And we thought this was a good question.
Yeah, it's a question everyone has, whether it's nonfiction or fiction, but really...
This applies to both.
Yeah. The short and simple answer is look at your competition.
And maybe price slightly lower, but not too much.
Yeah.
Or like a couple cents, I don't know.
And just keep in mind that you're checking to see like books in the same genre of yours and books that are the same length.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you write
super short nonfiction,
right? If
don't
you're
price
writing
it next to it,
you're not gonna put it as like $20.
Yeah.
When another book that's the same subject is like 600 pages, that's $20.
Yeah, that'll make your readers real mad.
Yeah.
Or just no sales.
It'll be upsetting when they buy it and then they're like, they get it and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be a bummer. So really, I think Mandy summed it up good. Is just look at books that are like your book and price accordingly. That's really it. That's the simplest advice.
It's simple.
Yes. The next one, I think we're on number 9 at this point, is release schedules. Are they different from, fiction? Is nonfiction planned out differently? The short version, I would say, is just slightly different, maybe a little bit faster.
I feel it's freakishly different for me.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you publish faster, so I think it differs from author to author.
That's true. Because authors can be super fast.
You have a quicker publishing schedule than I do.
Yeah. But I'm slowing it down because it's intense.
As of right now, my fiction has published once every 3 years.
But like I actually did, my shortest was 3 months. That was just absolute nightmare. I spent night and day on that book to get it done, and I was just so stressed, and so I feel like even 6 months is a lot.
Right.
Nonfiction, it's so much faster.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're co-authoring too.
Yeah, true. We're helping each other.
So we're not like worrying about like, oh, I need to figure out someone to do this and someone to do that. It's like, oh,
it's built in.
Is Bethany doing that? No, then I guess I have to do it.
Like who's doing the cover design? Do I have to book it in? No, she's got it.
Is she booked?
Formatting?
Yeah. Is Mandy booked? Yeah, but she's the author of the book anyway, so she'll make it work.
She'll probably do it. I feel like she'll do it. So yeah, I'd say it's faster generally, but of course it always depends on you. So do what you got to do the speed that you need to do. Don't like rush a book and it's not ready. You know? I think that's ultimately what's true for all books. Don't do it too fast.
Yeah, and I feel like it would be different. Like it really just depends on what the subject matter is.
True.
Because like if you're writing a textbook's gonna take longer.
It could take years.
Yeah.
I would never. But anyway,
we don't write textbooks.
Moving on from that, our last 10th question, or tip, I guess, is about cover design. And again, this is a little bit of a push to go watch Mandi's video. How many times have I said linked below at this point? I'm really excited to see the cover that doesn't exist yet when we're filming this.
I know.
But we thought it would be fun to talk about just a couple tips of how it's different from fiction. So you should take this away for sure.
One of the most important things for cover design is trends that go on for each specific genre, because even in fiction, especially fantasy, in the past couple of years, we've seen trends change. We've even seen traditional publishers republish an older series with new covers because there's like different trends that are happening. And same can be said for nonfiction. And as a cover designer, like that's my job, to be mindful of the trends that are going on, be mindful of what is selling for that genre. And sometimes that's just something that's hard to create for someone who dabbles in Photoshop.
Yeah, even if you kind of know what you're doing, like I kind of have an idea, I would still not touch it. Like I made some attempts.
Yeah, you've done some DIY covers before,
and
you did it
for fun.
Yeah, and I think you did it, what, for your short story?
For things that don't sell, where I'm like, I'm not going to invest money if I'm not planning to make money on it.
So like if you have a nonfiction book that you're giving out for free,
then go for it.
Yeah, then
maybe do some research.
Then you don't want to pay for a cover designer to give out a book for free.
Yeah, very true.
But if this is a product you're selling, then you need to invest a little more time. Just like in the same way you want to hire an editor, you want to hire a cover designer.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to make a world of difference, because we talk about this in how your book sells itself. Your cover is like your #1 marketing tool, and that doesn't change just because it's nonfiction. So
people always judge a book by its cover.
They really do. I think that's a good ending. That's the 10 tips we have for you guys today. And don't forget that there's a pre-order link below if you want to go check it out. And of course, like I've been saying, Mandi's video with the cover reveal, I keep talking about it because I'm so excited about it. I love covers.
I haven't even designed it yet.
But it's going to be.
It will be designed.
Yeah, it will be designed for probably at least a month by the time this video comes out. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe below if you're not already. Ring the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I have a video, because we're going to probably talk marketing more. We're probably going to talk maybe nonfiction more as well. If you guys have questions, let us know in the comments. And I think that's everything, so we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye!
We harmonized.
Yeah, it was beautiful. There's one other thing I wanted to mention and I can't think of it.
I think that was it.
Wait.
How should I walk in awkwardly? Or just be like, hey.
Oh my gosh! That was perfect. And I was going to say also, I forgot. And I was also going to say that why can't I get it out? Something about how it's months ago.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, I'm just going.
Oh, sorry. I distracted you.
No, I don't think there was an end to that thought.
I've done that before. Here's your notes that you had.
I have notes? That's great.
Am I in this? Am I actually?
Well, the other ones you weren't, but this one you are.
How about now?
You are. Well, you're gonna love this blooper reel. Oh, do you want to get out? So
yeah,
there's actual.
I'm just like
you have fantastic bloopers. I will tell you that much.